Hi, everyone. My name is Liza Miron, and I'm very happy to be here and to be able to tell you more about Family Constellations. Family Constellations has changed the life of so many people, including mine, that I'm excited to be able to tell you more and see how it can change your life. So we're going to start with the presentation. So wait 1 second. I'm going to turn this off, and then I'm going to put the slides. So don't worry if you don't see anything right now. I'm just going to put the PowerPoint presentation. And there. So hopefully you are looking at the PowerPoint presentation that says Family Constellations can change your life. So Family Constellations. What are Family Constellations? Family Constellations, it's a therapeutic method that by connecting to the energetic field brings awareness and understanding of the hidden dynamics, entanglements, or loyalties that we have so that they can be healed. So if you don't understand this definition, don't worry at all. Family constellations are very difficult to describe and understand. It is something that is better understood while experiencing it. I will be giving some examples throughout the presentation so that you can have a better idea. However, I wanted to let you know that these examples are not set in stone. When you have a certain issue in your life, it is different for each person how it relates with the family system, because each family system is different, each person is different, and each situation is different. However, I do want to give you these examples because it's going to help understand what's behind family constellations and how they work, and also how they can help. So we're going to start with a little history. So Bert Hellinger is the father of family constellations. He is a former priest and missionary to the Zulu in South Africa. He was there for 16 years. After that, he decided to become a psychoanalyst, a body therapist, group dynamic therapist, and family therapist. He went back to Europe and continued all his studies and started doing all the different practices and bringing together all his learnings and experiences. He developed the family constellations. When he was in South Africa and he was working with the Zulu, he realized that they were a culture that lived much happier lives and much more healthier than what he knew, at least from Europe. So he started to try to understand what were the big differences. And one of the big differences was that they remembered their ancestors and they honored their ancestors. And in their family systems, everybody belonged. So this is one of the important parts of the family constellations. And Bert Hellinger realized that there are several laws that exist in all the family systems, and he called them the orders of love. And these are universal laws that exist in every family system to maintain the balance and permit the free flow of love between the family members. And the objective of the family system is always the survival, to be able to continue, to be able to live on. So I'm going to start explaining the orders of love, and then I'll give the examples that I was telling you about. So the first one is the order of belonging. So the order of belonging means that in the family system, everybody belongs. No one can be forgotten. No one can be pushed aside or pushed away. And when this happens, then the family system does something to compensate, to regain the balance. It's like when someone is forgotten or excluded or pushed away, there's a void in the family system. So then a new member, it's going to feel the energy of the void that this exclusion created, and it's going to step into this void. So the new members in the family system are the ones that are going to take the loyalties for the ones that have been there before, and are the ones, in a way, that are chosen by the family system to be able to put back in balance and in order the orders of love. So, for example, if there's an uncle, and this uncle, it's an alcoholic and stole all the money from the family, and then nobody wants to talk anymore about this person. Nobody wants to remember this person. There's even some people that cut this person out of the pictures, and then it's like this person never existed. So this person has been excluded from the family. This person has been pushed away. And since one of the most important orders of love is the order of belonging, we understand that no one can be excluded. And when this happens, then a new member is going to have a loyalty or an entanglement to the one that was excluded. So when a child is born, this new child is going to have this loyalty to, in this example, to the one that was excluded, to the uncle that was alcoholic, that was had the money problems. So the new child, when the child starts growing up, is going to start having similar traits from the person that he's been identified with. So this child is going to start imitating in a way. It's going to have problems with addictions, problems with money, problems with success. This person is going to start having failure. And the reason for this is because this person is helping everyone see who is missing in the family system. Since the other person was excluded, this person is taking the traits and the challenges for everybody to see that somebody with these traits is missing in the family system. So it's when we have a lot of entanglements and loyalties to people in our family system, it's very difficult to heal and change because it is all subconscious. We don't know that we have these loyalties. We don't know that these challenges that we have in our life actually don't belong to us. And this is why it's so difficult to change. So another very important aspect in the order of belonging is that, again, everybody belongs. That includes the miscarriages and abortions. They are as important as someone that's 100 years old. So always the miscarriages and abortions that women have count like another member of the family system. They have to be honored. They have to be respected. They have to be remembered. They have to be taken into our heart with love. And again, when this doesn't happen, and often it's because it's too painful to remember. We don't want to deal with the emotion of the pain and the grief. So we just put that aside. And again, this creates an exclusion. And then a new family member, a sibling, is gonna have the place of the baby that wasn't able to be born. And again, having a loyalty to someone that's dead is gonna pull us in toward death. So we're gonna have failure, we're gonna have depression. Again, that's very difficult for us to heal and change because it actually doesn't belong to us. When this happens, when a sibling is born and has, for example, when a mother has a miscarriage and then has another child, and the next child has the position of being the first one in the family, the position doesn't belong to this child because there was someone before. So the one that was able to live, it's going to feel that he doesn't have the correct place in life. He's never comfortable anywhere he is. He's always like looking for something more because he doesn't have the position that belongs to him, because this new child is the second one, because the first one was a miscarriage, but that was actually the first one in the family. And this brings me back to the orders of love and to tell you more about the order of the hierarchy. There's an order in the family system. We all have a position, we all have an order, and an order of when we came to the family system. So in this case, in this example that I'm giving, when a woman has a first conception and that's a miscarriage, that is the first child of the family. And then the next one, if the next one is able to live, that's going to be the second child. And we all have our specific positions. And when this is not respected, when we are not in the position that we belong, we don't have strength in our life. We're not able to fulfill our path. We're not able to shine in our life because we don't have the strength of being in the position that we actually belong. And with the position, we actually have roles as well. We are, for example, our parents' children, and our parents are our parents. And these positions have to be respected. So there's another example I wanted to tell you about. Sometimes children behave like they are their parents' parents. And they're telling them all the time what to do, that they shouldn't do this, they shouldn't eat this, they should change this. And again, that's not the children's position, because they have to accept their parents just as they are, with the decisions that they make. Without accepting means not wanting them to change. So if they are asking all of this of the parents, telling them what to do, they're behaving as their parents' parents. So how does and this again, it's only an example, it's not set in stone. How does the system compensate this? When we are in this position, sometimes we're not able to have children, because systemically in the system, we already have children, our parents. And again, why are we behaving as our parents' parents? It's probably because something happened when they were children and they weren't able to have a strong presence of one of their parents. So when we are born, we feel that void and we step into that position. And again, all this is unconscious, but however, we can start being aware of it and start being conscious about it and start changing it in order to start healing and to be able to have more strength in our lives, to have more order in our life. So the other order I wanted to tell you about is the order of balance between giving and receiving. It is very important that we always have a balance in all the relationships we have with giving and receiving. When we don't maintain this balance, then the relationship breaks, the relationship starts to lose strength. And here I wanted to give you an example that, for example, there could be a couple, and in this couple, there's one person that gives a lot to the other one, a lot more. And I don't know if you've seen this happen, but sometimes when there's a relationship and one person gives a lot more to the other one, the relationship breaks, and the one that actually leaves the relationship is the one that has been receiving. And then people start saying, how ungrateful, look, all that this other person gave to him or her, and he or she just left the relationship. And what happened here is that the one that was receiving could not give back on the same amount. So he or she starts living with this amount of guilt that is so uncomfortable that would rather leave the relationship than continue living with this guilt. So it's very important for us to understand that every relationship needs to have a balance. So in order for us to receive, we also have to give. And in order to give, we also have to receive. And this also reminds us of being responsible for when we're giving to the others. We need to give only what they actually need and only as much as they can give back. Because if they are not able to give back in the same amount, then the relationship starts to lose strength. It's not gonna last. So this is another of the orders of love that Bert Hellinger describes. We have the order of belonging, the order of hierarchy, and this is the order of giving and receiving. So this is some orders that exist in the family systems that we have to maintain the balance of them. And then when we don't maintain the balance, then the system does something to compensate. And we have a lot of loyalties and entanglements to others in our family system. And not only we are carrying the situations in our life, but we also carry the emotions. So, for example, when there's a big tragedy and a family member is not able to deal with the emotions of the tragedy, then the descendants are going to carry, for example, the grief, the anger, the being anxious, the difficult and strong emotions that our ancestors were not able to deal with in their lives. We're going to carry them in our life. And this is, again, why it's so difficult for us to deal with some emotions in our life, because they actually don't belong to us. So when I give all these examples, that we have all these loyalties and we're doing things in our life that are because we have the loyalties to the other people in our family system, it doesn't mean that we're not responsible for what we do in our life. We are 100% responsible of every single thing we have done in our life, because we always have the option to decide for ourselves. We may have the loyalty and we may have the attraction toward being addicted to something, but we always have the possibility of deciding ourselves, of saying no or going a different direction or changing things in our life. Like I was saying, when we have all these entanglements, it's very difficult to change, but however, it is possible. And there's one very important tool that we have to change this in our lives. And this is the acceptance, the importance of acceptance. So all the situations that we have in our lives, all the challenges, all the difficult people, all the things that we're actually dealing with are there for a reason. Whether we understand the reason or not, we know that there's a reason. So it's important for us to accept this situation. When we are able to accept, we are able to move toward life. So we describe in Family Constellations that two different movements. We can either move toward life or we move toward death. So moving toward life is the energy of accepting, the energy of change, the energy of creativity. And the most important part of accepting is accepting our parents and accept them just as they are. Because our parents gave us our life, so they actually represent life to us. So when we're able to accept life, then life is going to give back to us. We're going to be able to have success, love, abundance, joy. And accepting our parents for us means accepting life because they gave us our life. And again, accepting ourselves is also accepting life. Our parents gave us our life, so we're 50% our father, 15% our mother. If we don't accept our father for any reason, we're not accepting 50% of ourselves. And then life is not going to be able to give back to us when we're not accepting life. So I was talking about this two different movements that we have, the movement toward life, or we can have a movement toward death. So what is a movement toward death? So a movement toward death means not wanting to accept the situation, criticizing, judging, being in the role of a victim, in the sense that poor me, everything happens to me, everybody else is to blame for the situation I have. So that mentality is the movement of death, is the mentality of being stuck and not wanting to change. When we have a challenge in our life, however difficult the challenge is, we need to accept the challenge, understand why do we have this challenge in our life? What do we need to see? What do we need to learn? What do we need to change? And do something and deal with the challenge the best way possible. And if something doesn't work, then try something else. And then this movement, this change, this energy is what's going to be able to heal, what's going to be able to bring health and joy and acceptance, because this is the movement toward life. So it's very important as well for when we have difficult people in our lives. We have to understand that they're difficult because they probably have a lot of loyalties to other people in their family system, and this is why this person has the challenges. We don't know what has happened in the life of this person since the moment the person was conceived. So we need to understand this and respect this and honor it and accept it, and realize that the difficult situation and the difficult person are in our lives because there's something we need to see or change or accept. And once we do this, then the difficult situation doesn't need to be there anymore. Doesn't have to be so strong. When we reject those situations, they're going to come back stronger because there's something that we need to change. For example, we can have an illness that we try to ignore it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to deal with it. And then it's going to become start getting stronger and stronger. But when we do the opposite, then the illness loses the strength. When we have learned what we need to learn from the illness, it doesn't have to be there anymore. So then the illness heals. And it's very important, again, with the accepting our parents, I also wanted to say that when we're able to accept our mother, we are able to have health in our life. We're able to have success in our life. And health, physical health. When we're able to accept our father, then we're able to have mental health. So again, this is all to tell you about the importance of acceptance and the movement toward life. So as I was saying, accepting people and situations as they are without wanting them to change or to be different, because they are as they are for a reason. Understanding that everything exists for a reason, whether we know that reason or not. And the power and the importance of accepting and respecting and honoring our parents, because that is accepting life. So something that some people sometimes confuse is that they tell me that, but accepting, for example, they're being hurt by someone, do they just need to accept and continue getting hurt? And this is not what acceptance means. If you're being hurt in a situation, it is very important for you to put your limits. So accept that the situation is there for something that you need to learn, but you need to put your limits, and if you need to get away from the situation in order for not to get hurt anymore, then go ahead and do that. Accepting doesn't mean continue in the situations that you're getting hurt. It means knowing that there's a reason for that situation, but also put your limits and protect yourself and do what you need to do in order to be in the movement of life. So, so how do family constellations work? We know from quantum physics that space is information. When we do a family constellation, then we are able to tap into this information to find the entanglements. And once we are able to see where the entanglement is coming from, then we are able to start the healing. So when the most important step in order to start a healing process is awareness. And we're able to be aware of who we're being loyal to in our family system with family constellations when we do a constellation. So I've talked of how we can heal in our lives, how can we move forward, move toward life. And there are certain loyalties that are very strong and very difficult, and they have a lot of impact in our lives. So we are able to start healing them when we're able to understand where they're coming from, and we do a family constellation. So any issue that we have in our life that we haven't been able to change, that we haven't been able to heal, that we find ourselves stuck, that we have a pattern, all those issues usually have to do with entanglements with our family system. And then we can heal them when we're able to see where these entanglements come from, when we start getting more awareness in the situation, when we're able to take the situation with love into our heart, then we're able to start the healing process. And then whatever we have done in the past to change or heal will start working, because now we don't have the root of the problem that's keeping us there. When we see patterns in the families, for example, that the first born has always problems with work, or the last born is never able to get married. So all those patterns that we see, or the first one always gets divorced after 2 years. The patterns that we see in families from generation to generation are systemic issues that are being carried from the generation to generation. And until someone is able to heal them, they're going to continue going down to the other generations. So this is why it's so important to be able to heal all those issues first, because we want to have actually life with love and abundance and health, but also so that our children and the following generations don't keep on carrying all these issues in their lives. And another aspect that's important that I wanted to mention is the dealing with the emotions, because dealing with the emotions is something that we are not taught, although it's changing now. When we have a strong emotion, sometimes this emotion comes from a family, someone from a family system. But when we're able to deal with the emotions, to deal with the situations, we start healing, and we start healing the loyalties and entanglements that we have. When we're able to deal with emotions correctly without hiding them and running away from them, it's we have a tendency not to want to feel sorrow or pain or confusion or failure. But when we close ourselves to these emotions, we close ourselves to all emotions. We then wonder, why are we not able to have joy and bliss and love? And this is because all emotions come together. You close yourself to some emotions, then you close yourself to all emotions. And when you close yourself to the negative emotions, they actually have to come out somehow, and they come out as illnesses. And then when we still are not able to deal with this, then our descendants will do this for us. So it is very important that the dealing of emotions and we constantly see it in family constellations, the power of being able to deal with emotions the correct way. So how do family constellations change your life? You're able to start healing and changing the issues in your life that you haven't been able to in the past. So you may feel stuck. You may have different conflicts that are health issues or relationship issues, work issues, that you're always getting back into the same situation no matter what you do. But once you do a family constellation, you take away the root problem of the issue. So whatever you do after it, it's going to start working. It's going to be different. You still need to act. You still need to move. You still need to move toward life. However, it's going to be different because the root problem of the issue is not there anymore. And this way you can start creating your life the way you've always wanted, with love, abundance, and success and joy. And this is why family constellations are so powerful, because we know that we're stuck in patterns, in situations that we're not able to deal with, no matter what we try. Well, with family constellations, we can get unstuck. We can move forward. And this is why it's so powerful. This is how it can change your life. In many of the issues that you haven't been able to be successful, that you haven't been able to change or to heal, then doing family constellations can actually change this. And this is why it's so important. This is why it is so powerful. So when should you do a family constellation? When there's a situation in your life that you haven't been able to heal or to change. It can be a health issue. It can be with work, your professional life, with success, money, and abundance. It can be, again, like I said, with physical or mental health. It can be an issue with love or to improve your relationships. So any of these situations that you feel stuck, that you feel that you haven't been able to get the abundance of the situation in your life, then when you realize that you've done several things to change and you haven't been able to change, that is the moment where you should look for doing a family constellation, because that's when it can be very helpful to get you unstuck and be able to heal and move forward. So I do family constellations in group sessions in San Jose, California. I also do private sessions. And I'm also able to do Skype sessions anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection. Skype, FaceTime, Viber, whatever we're able to connect. We can also do a family constellation. Here is my information, my website, and my email. I also have a Facebook page if you want to follow me in the Facebook page. For the ones that are in California, I have a meetup. And here is also the address of the meetup. You can join to have the information of all the sessions that I do and the dates and places where I do the sessions if you want to join the sessions. And any like I said, my email is here. Any questions, any comments, if anybody wants more information, please contact me. I'm really so passionate about this because I really know how it has changed people, so many people's lives. I know how powerful it can be. I'm always happy to share this with others. And actually, I mean, to be able to see how it changes the other lives, it's the most amazing thing in the world, because you're able to see how people can improve, can have more love and joy and abundance and more harmony in their lives. So this is why family constellations can change your life. This is why family constellations is a method that is so important and so powerful. So thank you everybody for listening to the presentation. I'm going to change the screen, and then I should be here in the screen. I hope you have a wonderful day, and please contact me if you have any other questions or comments. Thank you so much.